All right, let's test this out. Testing 1, 2, testing. I think I'm live right now. All right, let's test. Okay, well, sorry about that, everyone. I'm a little late tonight. Got a lot of technical issues here, but we'll get those figured out. But let's go ahead and get started. So, my name is Harrison Scullin. I am your host for Really Old Movies. And today I actually got a great show for you guys. Going to talk about some old movie news. Going to be talking about the film The Golem from 1920. It's the film I reviewed for the week. And then after that, I'm going to play a couple rounds of Halo here. And so with that, let's go ahead and get started here with my discussion of the movies of the week. So with that, there we go. Oh, gotta put on my backdrop and my ticker. Alright, so for Criterion for the week, they just announced they're going to have a whole month of the month of July all dedicated to Columbia Screwball comedies. And this is something I'm very excited about because I love comedy. I love screwball comedies in general. And a lot of them are some of my favorites. You know, they got It Happened One Night. That's with Clark Gable and Claudia Colbert. I believe that's her name. That's a great movie, a great Frank Capra film. Hilarious movie. Another film that they're showing is Platinum Blonde. I have not seen that, but that's with, I believe that's also with Clark Gable. They got 20th Century, Whole Town's Talking, Theodora Goes Wild, The Awful Truth. Now that's a great one with Cary Grant, and I absolutely love that one. You know, I just reviewed it. Well, I didn't just review it. I reviewed it a couple years ago, but that's a great movie right there if you haven't seen it. It's, her name's escaping me. Let me just grab this real quick. I just love screwball comedies in general, but Irene Dunne, that's her name. So that's this movie here. Can't really see it. Yeah, The Awful Truth. That's a great Criterion collection. So excited to see that there. Can't Take It With You. His Girl Friday. And that's the film that's shown here in that poster. I have kind of a hot take on that movie. I don't like it very much. But I've only seen it once, so I don't know if that opinion would change. But yeah, so that's His Girl Friday. There's another film called The More the Merrier. It Should Happen to You. Poofed. And Good Neighbor Sam. So if you have the Criterion channel, that's a subscription service, you'll be able to check out all of these great screwball comedies there. And just on that note, if you're in the Palm Springs area, every year they have their Screwball Sundays. I think they just ended, but at the Palm Springs Culture Center there, it's their theater where the Arthur Lyons and a couple other events happen. They show some of these movies there too. So if you don't know anything about screwball comedies, I recommend checking out at least one or two of these on the Criterion channel. And so with that, let me see how we're sounding here. Comedies, I recommend checking out at least one. Perfect. Yeah, again, I'm sorry about all the technical issues. If anyone watched that live stream earlier, it's a couple seconds or so, but yeah, I'll have it all figured out by next week, guys. All right, let's move on to the next one. So Kino Lorber, they do their Film Noir Dark Side of Cinema collection, and this is their number 12, or no, not number 12, number 22 that they just announced. And this will have The Enforcer, that stars Humphrey Bogart. They'll have The Scarlet Hour, Plunder Road. Those are the 3 films that they're going to add into it. And I believe 2 of those were actually at the Arthur Lyons Film Noir Festival this year. At least The Enforcer. I remember seeing that in the programming. But, you know, if you want to get into film noir, this is a great way to do it. They got lots of great films there. I myself don't have any of these collections yet, just because they're pretty expensive. I mean, you're getting 3 fully restored films. I believe these are Blu-rays. So high quality nonetheless. But, yeah, I recommend, if you want to get into film noir, go with this collection. You know, Michael Curtiz, he's one of the directors here. He directed Casablanca. Great guy. I absolutely love his movies. Yeah. So that's kind of the news for Kino for the week. Now, the last thing, so Flickr Alley does not upgrade as often as these guys do, as Criterion and Kino Lorber. So this film here is The Magnificent Seven, and I believe it's being released by Columbia. Let's see. Let me check their site here. Oh, Shout Factory. That's right. So yeah, you can see here on Blu-ray.com from Shout Factory. But really cool steelbook case here, and it's high quality 4K. I definitely want to check this out. I hear it's one of the better westerns that there is. I myself have only seen a few westerns. This would be just another one I'd love to review at some point. But yeah, it looks like it's on Amazon right now, so go ahead and check it out there. But that's pretty much it, old movie news wise. I'll try to do this every week just to have like a new disc release or any other updates. Like another example I could think of would be MeTV just announced their Toon channel. That'll be coming out in local channels. Looking forward to that. I personally don't have cable or satellite or any other kind of live television like that. So I'm curious to see how I'll do that. Looks like they might be streaming it. But yeah, this is something I want to try and do every week. Just have a little disc announcement and disc review and whatnot. Just to kind of get people knowing more about these releases because they happen every week. And so now we'll talk about the next segment, which is the film of the week. Alright, so today's movie review is on the film The Golem from 1920. And this is a movie that's the third film in the Golem series and is the only existing one of the three. There was a film in 1915 and 1917, and this is the only one that still exists in its entirety. I believe you could see clips of the other ones. But all of them are directed and star Paul Wegener, who we see here in the Golem costume, the clay-looking guy. And this is considered the best of the series. Again, the other two don't exist, but when you look at reviews, this is considered the best of them. And another cool fact about The Golem is this is considered one of, if not the earliest horror film series. I believe there were two more after this, I want to say. But I think that's really cool that, I don't know, just we're really cool that we even have this film, from 1920. It's only 104 years ago. And I'll get a little bit more into my thoughts on it as we go along. And some more behind-the-scenes details about the Golem from 1920. So Paul Wegener had the idea of making the film about the Golem after hearing the original legend told in Prague. So this is a story that's very famous Jewish, I don't know what you'd call folklore type of story. He's kind of like the boogeyman or kind of like, like a monster in that way. So I think that's pretty interesting that's the case. And Paul Wegener was Wegener, these German names. He was unhappy with the 1915 film he did, and so he decided to make another one, which is the 1917, and then this one. This one kind of acts as a prequel to the other films. So this might even be one of the earliest prequels as well. So I think those are all some pretty interesting behind-the-scenes details about the film. Now let me get into my thoughts on the plot. So the plot, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was good. I love the idea of it, especially how it's a legend. It's a real legend that people told all the time. And it's definitely a huge inspiration for Frankenstein. You could definitely tell here. I mean, he's like a big monster, comes to life, whatnot, kind of wreaks havoc. And just other monster movies in general. This is probably one of the earliest. I just don't think the execution was great. That's why I gave it a 3.5. We don't really get the Golem until pretty much halfway through the film. Film's only hour 20, hour 10 minutes. There's a restored version that's longer, but that one I haven't seen. This is the one I watched, which was on YouTube. But we don't, even when he's there, what's he doing? He's going around getting groceries. He's just kind of nothing. He's just walking around, right? So it's a bit underwhelming, especially compared to The Phantom of the Opera in 1925, which was another silent film. That came out just 5 years after this movie. And to me, that one is a much more compelling, much more scary story. This one, it was cool seeing the Golem and all of that, but really, what does he do? He throws a guy off a cliff and he dies. Or not a cliff, but off the top of a tower and the guy dies. That's it, you know? Like, there's not a whole lot there with the story, and I wish there was better execution with it. So that's why I gave it a 3.5. So let's move on to acting. So the acting, I gave it a 3.5, or no, I gave it a 3 out of 5, excuse me. So I thought Paul Wegener, pictured here, I think he's the best part of the film in my opinion. I love his costume. I love just how menacing the Golem is. I just wish he was doing more things. I wanted him to be, you know, causing havoc and going crazy, or like Frankenstein's monster, where at first he doesn't know how to control himself, and then eventually he just gets mad and he's just done with everything, right? I wish we saw more something like that. I thought that would have been really cool, but we don't get that. And then also in regards to acting, I thought the other actors, there's these main guys, there's an old rabbi, he was a bit too hammy for me. There's a weird romance going on, like a love triangle going on. I didn't like any of those actors either. I really think Paul Wegener was the best one, and he's the only one that I wanted to see more of, and we don't get hardly any of him. He's barely in the movie, and just that alone, I gave it a 3 out of 5. All right, next is directing, so kind of talking about Paul. I also gave that a 3 out of 5. You know, I actually prefer his acting over the directing. I don't like the plot choices he made, especially not having the Golem doing a lot of stuff. I mean, really, if you think about it, he just kind of picks up people, throws them around, but that's it, you know? It really doesn't get crazy till the end, and even that is like 2 minutes, if that. Very underwhelming. I also don't like the abrupt ending or how easy it's resolved. You know, the way he comes to life, there's a star in his chest you could kind of see there. And when that's plugged into him, that brings him to life and whatnot. But if you take that out, he falls over asleep, right? So a little kid figures that out and pulls it off. I was like, come on. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of that. Again, I wanted to see more terror and horror. And, you know, I'm upset. I'm upset we didn't get more of the Golem, and I kind of blame Paul Wegener here, because he made all the choices. It wasn't like the studio was completely taking over everything, right? You know, he decided, no, we're going to show more of the other characters around him. And it's kind of a familiar trope we see nowadays, where people would rather show, like in the modern Godzilla movies. We don't see Godzilla as much. We see all the people's interactions more. Now, a good example, though, is Godzilla -1, where the character story is actually really compelling and really good. And then it's elevated by the monster, too. And it elevates, you know, they work in tandem with each other. This, kind of like other modern monster movies, I feel like they don't interact, don't mesh at all. They kind of feel out of place. And so I wasn't a huge fan of that. And I blame Paul Wegener. So, and so that's why I gave it 3 out of 5. All right, next is cinematography and special effects. So I gave that a 4 out of 5. I actually really liked it. I thought it was excellent. I love the building and the fire scene that we see here. I love the effects when the Golem is created. It was really cool. Example of early visual effects, like we have some rotoscoping and really cool camera effects that were really cool. I was very impressed with that. I thought the costume of the Golem was really cool, and the fake clay. They had these statue ones that you could kind of tell were fake, but they still looked a lot like him. I really liked them. But again, I wish we had more of the Golem. That's why I give it a 4 and not a 5, because he's barely in it. But in the scenes he's in, he's fantastic and really brings it up a notch. All right. So then next is the music. Music, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So when I review silent films, it's hard, giving a high score to the music, because sometimes it's not the original score. And the one I saw on YouTube, I don't think was the restored version or the music that is in the actual Kino Lorber release, because that just came out, I think, earlier this year, maybe later last year. And they restored the score to it. They tried to make it as much as like the original as possible. So the version I saw, I don't know if that was. I don't think it's that version because I didn't see Kino Lorber or any of those things at the beginning of it. So that's why I gave it a 3.5 because it's not the original score. It's in the public domain, so people can mix it however they want. It may not even be the full film, honestly. I was going to watch it on Canopy, but it's not on Canopy anymore. It's a mess. So I saw it on YouTube. I would like to give it another chance, maybe in a couple of years, just the movie in general, just to see the difference between the extended and then this version of the film. But in the meantime, for now, I'm giving it a 3.5. But like I said, I don't know if it's the original score or not, so I can't give it a 4. Because if it's good, well, it's not the original intention, right? So that's why I gave it a 3.5. All right. So tallying that all up, that brings my Letterboxd score to a 3.4 out of 5, which I'm rounding to a 3 out of 5. And that's a that's a critic list score of 68%. So would I recommend this movie? I think only for horror film fans and just fans of German Expressionism in general. But I don't know. I want to try again in a couple of years and maybe with the correct Kino Lorber version. But I definitely won't be picking it up. I want to try again before I decide to do that. It's because they're expensive, But I wasn't the biggest fan. I personally like Phantom of the Opera 1925. That's an American film, Universal, but I like that for German Expressionism. I liked Metropolis 1927. I thought that was a better version of this. Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, that's also a great version of German Expressionism and horror. I think those are better examples. And so with that, those are my thoughts on the Golem from 1920. And like I said, I think check out those other films I mentioned. Those would be much better examples of German Expressionism. And so with that, that's the film review for today. All right. So that's kind of the last of the old film news and behind the scenes and whatnot. And so now, let's get the chat pulled up here. Boom, boom. Now I'm going to get some Halo started. Heck yeah. All right. And again, I apologize for being late and for the technical issues. I was running a little late in general anyways, but yeah, I will definitely be more diligent next week in making it better for you guys. Because I appreciate you all watching this and checking out the reviews and whatnot. And so, again, I apologize for how it turned out today. Alright, let's get Halo booted up here. And so, for those who watched last week, I will be doing the next level in Halo 1 in July. And those are scheduled out, the different parts and whatnot. I want to do those once a month, but each week in between then, I want to do... let me switch this around here. I want to do Slayer or just any online with other people gaming in general, just to kind of get better at the games. Just to kind of prep and whatnot. It's been a long time since I've played them, and I want to get better at it again. So let me get all set up here. Alright. Now let's turn off this view and turn it onto the video game view. Okay. Here it is. Perfect. There we go. Let's do some online gaming first. Let's see. let's see how it goes today. Stretch this out a bit. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. It likes to go to my other screen. There we go. Oh boy, here we go. Good old Guardian. So I'll probably do a couple rounds of this and then a couple rounds of Firefight, then I'll end the show today. One or two of these on the Criterion channel. All right. Okay. Oh, crap, crap, crap. Noir. There's a blue guy over there. Very good. Aw, dang it. Oh. Dang it. Oof. It's kind of a small map to do this. Dang it. Let's get it, guys. Oh. Ooh. Nice try, boy. Oh, dang. Well. Oh, dang. Oh, they must be down below. Dang it. Oh, golly. Woo! Dang it. That was a stupid idea. Go this way. I should have punched him again. Whoops. Oh, dang, he got me good. Dang. Not doing so hot. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Yeah, go red team. Let's go do some firefight. I'm done courtyard. Let's make it heroic. Please don't make me an elite. I haven't figured out how to fix that problem yet. Okay, it doesn't look like it.
Firefight. The Covenant are advancing through your sector. You need to stop them in their tracks.
Set, start, tough luck, on.
Oh yeah, I remember this level.
First strike. Double kill.
Oh boy. Gotta get out of here. Oh my gosh. That was a close call.
Double kill. Frenzy. Triple kill.
Yeah.
Reinforcements.
Alright. Survive one round. Let's try this side. I love this gun so much. Oop. Oh, shoot. What? That didn't kill him? Oh, man. I don't know, I'm gonna survive this round. I gotta get out of here! Ah. Jeez Louise, man. So does that start it over? I don't think so. No, it does not. This spot again. Got one of them. Woo! Oh no! Oh dang. Well, I got the hunters.
5 lives left.
Ooh. Oh, they took my spot. Jeez Louise. Okay, no, I have 4 lives left. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise, man. Yeah, boy. Alright, going back in here. Dang it, no! Crap, he's gonna kill me.
Double kill.
Note to self, heroic is hard.
Double kill.
This is tough, guys. Got 2 lives left.
Double kill.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness.
One life left.
I'm on my last life. If I die, I die. Oh, he's just gonna be waiting for me.
No lives left. Double kill.
I'm calling in orbital assets, Spartan. If you can still hear me, it's time to pull out.
Game over.
Ugh. Dang. Not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Alright. Well, let's turn this camera back on. Alright, so I was just going to be on for a little bit today, guys. And again, sorry for the technical issues. Hopefully I'll have those resolved by next time, next week here. But with that, thank you all so much for coming on. This has been Really Old Movies. I'm your host, Harrison Scullin. Take care.